Teachers, what's the best smartass response from a student you have heard? Story 1. I witnessed a rather sad one. In my chemistry class sophomore year, one of my friends was going through some family issues, and his dad just left for a year or so. The kid was acting up in class, and the teacher was like, "Do you want me to call your dad?" And he was like, "If he picks up, tell him to come home soon." I had a friend who told the teacher he wasn't going to be able to come to an after-school event. She started fussing at him, telling him that he wouldn't ever make it to college because of how irresponsible he was. When she finally asked why he couldn't come, he replied, "My house burned down." Story 2. Not a teacher, but this happened in an upper-level French class where you can only speak French. If you speak English, the teacher scolds you in French. My friend walked in a few minutes late for a quiz and wasn't allowed to take it. My friend looked at the teacher and said, in English, "That's bullshit." The teacher looked back angrily and said, also in English, "What did you just say?" My friend, "En français, monsieur." He got kicked out of the class. In French, we had one guy say to his friend, "Oh, you bastard," right as the teacher walked in front of them, and the whole class got quiet. We thought they were in for it. Instead, she goes, "En français, c'est bastard." Story 3. This is sort of a flip from the question, but there was this awesome history teacher I had freshman year of high school who was just always in an amazing mood. We called him Mr. Smith. One day, everyone is sitting in class waiting for the tardy bell to ring when a kid sneaks a condom onto the door handle. The bell rings, and Mr. Smith walks into the room, grabs the handle to close the door, and pulls the condom off of it, looks at the condom helmet for a split second, and stuffs it into his pocket while saying, "Thanks. I'll need this later." Story 4. A kid in my math class would sleep on his desk. One day, the teacher called on him to answer a problem on the chalkboard. He woke up, solved the problem on the board with zero difficulty, and then just went back to sleep. The teacher repeated the same thing a few times with similar results, and then just let him sleep the rest of the year. Story 5. I've taught preschool for years, and one of my favorite dad responses to children who are being whiny just to whine is the, "Hi, blank, I'm your teacher." E.g., "I'm thirsty." "Hi, thirsty, I'm your teacher." Anyway, one day, after a long week, I sat down to lunch with my class, preschool, remember, 4 to 5-year-olds, and say to a child, we'll call him Tommy, "Boy, Tommy, I'm really tired today." Without skipping a beat, he swallows his mac and cheese, looks me right in the eyes, and says, "Hi, really tired. I'm Tommy." And that's the day I knew I had taught him all I could. Story 6. My history teacher would spend half the class making jokes directed at the students. One student in particular always took the jokes on the chin and never really made any comebacks. Eventually, the teacher called him out and jokingly lectured him about standing up for himself. He ended his rant with, "You've got to be a man. You gotta be like me." The student replied with, "Well, which one? Do you want me to be a man, or do you want me to be like you?" Story 7. Well, this one was during coaching classes for entrance exams. The math teacher reduced a given problem to a simpler form and challenged the students. "So, this expression doesn't fit any of the given standard forms for us to find the particular integral. So, what do you propose we do?" A kid from the back shouted, "The next question." This sounds like my entire calculus class my senior year. Story 8. My sister, who was also a teacher, was taking her kindergarten class through the lunch line. Well, this day was St. Patty's Day, so there were green cupcakes. My sister told the class, jokingly, "Don't eat too many cupcakes or they'll turn you green." A young black boy looks up at her and says, "Miss Carey, I ain't never seen a green brother before." Story 9. I'm not a teacher, but I had a friend in school who was always pretty dramatic. She actually did have IBS, though. So we're in this bitchy teacher's class, and she keeps asking to use the bathroom. The teacher says no. My friend's like, I have IBS, though. And the teacher is like, tell me what those initials mean, and I will let you go. So she screams, it means I have to shit, and takes off out of the room. A more common version of this is, girl, can I use the bathroom? Male teacher, yes. Girl picks up bag. Male teacher, loudly, why do you need your bag when you go to the toilet? Story 10. Not a teacher, but witnessed as student. We had a substitute who was leafing through the yearbook and got to the senior superlatives. Our school mascot was the Eagles. She started reading some of them aloud and said, oh, that's nice. Sarah, most school-spirited. A student answered back, yeah, because she's always spread eagle. The substitute couldn't keep from laughing, as much as she tried not to. Story 11. In high school, one of my teachers was having a disagreement with a student. I can't remember what it was about, but finally the teacher asked him if she wanted her to call his mother. The student replies, do it then. My mama will agree with me too. The teacher then asked him to leave her class. He goes, you know what? I'm going to call my mom for you. He then whips out his cell phone and calls his mom on speaker. Hey mom, this teacher want to talk to you. The whole class just lost it. My wife, when she was in high school, had a PE teacher that pulled this kind of thing. The class was doing some exercises, but my wife kept finishing them faster than the lazier students, so she would be standing around waiting for the rest of the students to finish. The teacher accused her of not doing them. My wife said she had done them, and they argued back and forth a bit. The teacher then decided to call my wife's father to get her in trouble or something. The teacher actually got a hold of him on speakerphone so the whole class could listen. The teacher tells him all about how your daughter says she finished her exercises but is clearly lying and won't do more exercises, or something. My father-in-law, who was a partner in a very successful business law firm, listens quietly through the whole thing and then responds with, my normal billing rate is large number of dollars per hour. Don't waste my time again with this crap. If my daughter says she did the exercises, then she did them. Don't ever call me again. And then hung up. The teacher immediately told everyone to get back to their exercises for the day and never brought it up again. Story 12. I had a teacher tell a classmate, no drinks in class. He got up from his seat, picked up the teacher's drink, and deposited in the garbage with his drink. She then sent him to the office. Story 13. Not me, but a colleague told me this story. It was one of his first years teaching, so he was about 22, 24 at the time. It was a junior high science class, and he told a student to stop messing around and get back to work. The student's response, man, I got bitches older than you. All I'm looking at right now is a bitch younger than me. Back to work. Story 15. Our teacher was teaching us about the states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. He was talking about how a solid you can break into littler pieces, but how you can't do the same to liquids or gases. So I blurted out, but you can break wind. I still talk to that teacher, and he says that's the best part of his teaching career. This was in the 6th grade. Story 16. Let me point out that I'm female since people will assume I'm a guy. I taught in an inner city school. We were talking about prime numbers, so I would have kids give me a number, and we'd work out if the number was a prime number on the board. One kid wasn't paying attention, so me being a young teacher, I thought I'd catch him off guard and call on him. It went something along the lines of, Mark, do you have a number? Huh? I need your number. Shit, play it cool, girl. We can talk after class. The whole room lost their shit, and I turned red from embarrassment. They then laughed at how red I got.